What if your life insurer paid you for staying healthy? Well, in 2024, Discovery Life returned $2.4 billion to its clients who didn't even have to claim, for simply making healthier choices. For many South Africans, that translated into thousands of rands back into their pocket at a time where every cent counts. Hello and welcome back to Discovery Life's podcast series, Protection as Unique as the Life It Covers. I'm your host, Lwandile Bhengu, and in episode 2, we continue our deep dive into the 2024 Discovery Life's Claims Experience Report. In our first episode, we got a comprehensive overview of some of the stats and the figures. And in today's episode, we'll be zooming in on living benefits and Discovery's revolutionary shared value insurance model that is fundamentally changing the insurance game. I'm once again joined by Gareth Friedlander, Discovery Life's Deputy CEO, and Daniel Stoch, Discovery Life's Head of Research and Development. Gentlemen, thank you once again for joining me. So in today's episode, we really want to focus on what shared value means and what it means for everyday South Africans who are concerned about their health. Gareth, I'd like to start with you.
Hello, Lwandile. Thanks for having us back here. Maybe let me start with where it all started. If we kind of go back almost 30 years ago, the co-founders of Discovery, Adrian and Barry, came up with this fairly simple, intuitive idea. What if we give free gym memberships to members of the medical scheme or the medical aid? The concept that if you go to gym, you should be healthier. We should get more healthy members into the medical scheme, and that creates better experience from a medical aid perspective. So it started off with that rudimentary kind of simple idea, and it's evolved over 30 years into this unbelievably sophisticated and incredibly successful model that we now call the shared value insurance model. That's being deployed across geographies, across industries, 40 odd different countries around the world. And at its core is the idea that through the Vitality program, if you can change people's behavior in a positive way, if you can make them healthier, if you can make them drive better, if you can make them, look at their finances more responsibly, you create money in the system that wasn't there before. And then why we call it the shared value model is you then share back that value that's been created through the behavior change to the different stakeholders in the model. So what does that mean in numbers? We saw last year that the clients who engaged in these healthy activities, as measured through their vitality statuses, so our diamond status clients, claimed at 57% lower rates for mortality. So more than half the reduction in death rates or mortality rates relative to clients who aren't engaging in the model or who don't belong to Vitality. And we saw the same impact on morbidity. So in terms of how much you get sick, a 47% reduction for our most engaged clients. So that's really, really powerful. I think it was probably beyond the wildest dreams of Adrian and Barry 30 years ago that you could actually impact mortality to that extent. So we're more than halving those death rates. That means that simply we pay fewer claims, and that creates profitability for the life insurer. But we don't pocket that profitability. We pass a lot of it back to the client who's created that profitability in the first place through being healthy. And we pass that back through money, through what we call the payback benefit, which pays up to 100% of your premiums back through the duration of your policy. We paid 1.4 billion rand back to clients last year alone through that payback benefit. And we've also got a benefit called the cash conversion benefit, which pays a percentage of your life cover out while you're still alive in retirement based on how well you've looked after your health and wellness pre-retirement. So really supplementing retirement savings through simply being healthy and living a healthy lifestyle. And that we crossed the 1 billion rand mark for the first time in 2024. So 2.4 billion rand just to clients just for being healthy in 2024.
Gareth, in our previous episode, we spoke about how the industry rate is between 20 and 30% in paying out living benefits, but Discovery is sitting at a 60%. Could you please tell me more about that?
Yeah, sure. So as we mentioned a little bit last week, life insurance is a range of payouts. It pays out when you die. It pays out on a whole host of life-changing events, like we mentioned, around disability, income protection, severe illness. And then I think uniquely with the Discovery model, it also pays out when you're healthy. And so when we add the payouts for being healthy, as well as the payouts to, when you're still alive under those living benefits, it actually was 60% of our payouts last year, which is a truly remarkable outcome. So the shared value model really kind of changing the paradigm of life insurance, whereby clients are living longer, healthier lives and are benefiting in rands and cents through these types of living benefits and shared value benefits for that healthier behavior.
And then, Dan, I'd just like us to go through the income continuation benefits and some of the data around that and what it means for working age South Africans.
So, Lwandile, I think where you start to bring all of this together is when you think about a product and a model that that flips the paradigm of insurance, as Gareth said, into something that people actually want to buy. It's not necessarily a grudge purchase when you can get something back by managing your health and wellness. It then becomes a far more attractive proposition for the very group that you want to protect, which is your young working population, who need to take out and make sure that their income is protected, but aren't necessarily doing that because insurance is a grudge purchase. And so with a model that incentivizes that says that if you don't claim, we'll be returning some of your premiums back to you. If you do claim, your income is protected. You place them in a position where no matter what happens, the kind of worst of worst could happen, or they could just do what they need to in terms of managing their health and wellness. They're getting something back from their insurer, and that makes it a far more attractive proposition for that group of clients.
And just in closing, any other takeaways from the data and what sort of trends or sort of influence are you hoping it'll have on the lives of ordinary South Africans?
Yeah, I think our mission is obviously to incentivize healthier behavior to the benefit of, clients, benefits us in terms of lower claims, and from a societal perspective as well. They're kind of the third big stakeholder in this shared value insurance model, and society will benefit from reduced healthcare burden, increased productivity, safer roads, etc. So we really are on an exciting path with the model. It's evolving every single year. It's becoming more sophisticated, more personalized. There's some really exciting examples from recent years of innovations using the model in a very interesting and specific way. I want to maybe touch on one, which is around what we call our global education protector. And really what this does is it allows parents to protect their children's education if one of the parents passes away or becomes sick. A very valuable and powerful benefit. But what's unique about it is that we said to parents, if you're healthy, if you engage in vitality, we'll fund your children's tertiary education. And, each year that they engage in vitality, they're earning an additional percentage off their child's future university. And that really talks to a parent's intrinsic motivations. And it's certainly going to get you to change behavior. And we've seen that. It's paying out really powerfully. Clients are engaging in the model. Parents are engaging. Parents who have this benefit have about a 200% higher engagement rate in the model than those who don't. So it shows how these types of incentives that really talk to your motivations do work. And it's a really, I think, unique and interesting way of tailoring the shared value insurance model for a very specific need. So we're looking at more of those opportunities. I think the world of big data, the world of AI is opening up unique opportunities around personalization. The latest is what we call our personalized health pathways, where we kind of simplify the model for clients through Discovery Health and Vitality, tell them what's the very next best single thing that you individually can do for your health and wellness. And then we reward that client immediately on doing that next best thing. So as you perform that action, whether it be, go for your health check, go get a mammogram, go for a run, if you close your ring, we then communicate, here's up to 100% of your premium back in the month that you do that action, and you kind of see it in real time. So I think an exciting world of innovation awaits using this model to achieve our purpose of making people healthier and really rewarding them at the same time from a financial perspective.
Gareth, Daniel, thank you once again for joining me. And it's been such an insightful conversation on how much more life insurance can do for ordinary South Africans. So thank you.